Hello, everyone, and welcome to this Americans for Limited Government news update. I have 5 words for you on the impeachment inquiry hearing going on right now in Washington. Joe Biden is the brand. Those are the words of Chairman James Comer in laying out the case against Joe Biden and his family's corrupt scheme to peddle influence around the world and to rake in millions of dollars. The hearing is already 5 hours into it. I took some highlights from the first 3 hours of the hearing because I'm guessing most of you have better things to do than to sit and watch, 8-10 hours of this hearing. I've put together a 5-minute reel with some of the highlights from this morning's half of the hearing, and I think you'll want to watch it because I think the Republicans have made a very strong case that, as James Comer said very succinctly, Joe Biden is the brand.
Just this week, we uncovered 2 additional wires sent to Hunter Biden that originated in Beijing from Chinese nationals. This happened when Joe Biden was running for president of the United States, and Joe Biden's home is listed as the beneficiary address. Now, what were the Bidens selling to make all this money? Joe Biden himself. Joe Biden is the brand. In recent history, Democrats inflicted much damage on the credibility of congressional investigations by peddling the Russian collusion hoax. But this committee, under this majority, will not pursue such witch hunts based on manufactured allegations, innuendo, and no real evidence. Today, the House Oversight Committee will examine over 24 pieces of evidence revealing Joe Biden's corruption and abuse of public office. This includes emails, text messages, bank records, and testimony of Biden business associates.
In a newly released message to a Chinese business executive, Hunter mentions preserving the, quote, keys to my family's only asset. That asset? Joe Biden. Whether it was lunches, phone calls, White House meetings, or official foreign trips, Hunter Biden cashed in by arranging access to Joe Biden, the family brand. The Biden family and their associates received millions in payments from foreign sources, including from Russia, China, Ukraine, Romania. In one email, Hunter Biden even bragged that he cut a deal for $10 million from just one company for, quote, introductions alone. And yet the DOJ wanted to keep the spotlight as far from Joe Biden as possible. The Biden family sold access to Joe Biden's power, and the Biden Justice Department protected the Biden brand. We must continue to follow the facts.
Influence peddling is a form of corruption. The United States has signed treaties to combat this form of corruption around the world. These are constitutional moments that demand the best from each of us to transcend the politics and passions of our time. It calls for something that's difficult. It calls for solemnity and clarity for members. Many people now accept that what Hunter Biden did was rather raw and open influence peddling. So the only question is, was the president involved in that? And I'm not prejudging that, but there's an argument that now that you hear that they were just selling the illusion of access. The fact is, you have to ask yourself one question: how do you know? Even if you accept that selling the illusion of access is not misconduct, how do you know it was an illusion?
My Democrat colleagues say none of this is relevant because Joe Biden wasn't vice president while his family did these shady deals. Turns out that's complete and total bullshit. It's a lie. Why was Hunter so secretive about his father? I'm going to tell you why. It's because Joe Biden didn't want the American people to know he and his family were getting paid millions and millions of dollars from a company closely tied to the Chinese Communist Party. CEFC knew paying Biden family members was bad, so they covered it up. Professor Turley, we got 30 seconds. In your experience in reviewing cases of fraud, do people who are conducting legitimate business usually go through these efforts and hoops to keep their foreign entanglements hidden?
Yes, the issue with influence peddling is that It can, in some circumstances, be legal, but it's not something that necessarily is made public. The public does not buy into the idea that you can sell your family brand if it's influence peddling.
One of the gentlemen said there's no credibility to this evidence. Let me say, as an investigator, there's perhaps no category of evidence that's more credible than bank records. And bank records is what we're working with. The House Oversight Committee, Judiciary Committee, Ways and Means Committee are investigating highly suspicious money transactions from foreign powers through shell companies to Biden family members. Do you agree that our Oversight Committee, Judiciary Committee, and Ways and Means Committee should be judiciously investigating reasonable suspicion of impeachable actions by President Joe Biden?
I do. I think it is your duty to get answers to these questions and to see if the president was involved in what I think is a confirmed corrupt influence peddling effort.
The American people demand accountability for this culture of corruption. They demand to know how these schemes have compromised President Biden and threatened our national security. They demand safeguards to be put in place to prevent public officials from selling access to their public office for private gain.
Thanks everyone for watching. I hope you liked it. And if you agree with us here at Americans for Limited Government that we need smaller government and greater individual liberty and freedom, please like and share this video and subscribe to us at Americans for Limited Government on YouTube and Rumble.